This is for the players.
I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Josh Saunders.
And this is For the Players, the pop culture as PlayStation podcast. Over 40 years of playing PlayStation and 8+ years in the games media combined. I'd like to thank you for joining us for this 95th PlayStation conversation.
I thought we didn't number episodes.
We don't, but we're getting 100, so I'm getting excited.
Okay. This PlayStation conversation happens every Monday morning at 9 a.m. Australian Standard Time on YouTube and 8 a.m. on iTunes, Spotify and the other podcast services. If you'd like to join us in those conversations, please join us on Facebook, Discord, comment below. If you're feeling generous, join us on Patreon at patreon.com/popculture. Head over there, check out the tiers. Might be something there that interests you.
If you do support us on Patreon, you can watch us record the show live, and normally we do give more notice. But once again, today, due to my bugger up this week, we changed days. So the link's there if you're watching. You're not, because you're not there here right now, but it's cool. And we also want, if you want to show the love of pop cultures on your body, head to popcultures.com/shop. We can buy shirts like this.
I keep forgetting
like
I
that
leave
one.
this here.
That's fine. And we're also on twitch.tv/thepopculturists.
And
what? Oh, yeah. And while you are there on those podcast services listening to For the Players, why don't you go check out The Young and the Wrestlers, the Pop Culture's WWE podcast. So you got your Mondays with the FTP, and you got your Fridays with The Young and the Wrestlers. Even what I'm saying,
how do you abbreviate that?
your week is sorted.
Mondays with the FTP and Fridays with the
Young and the Wrestling. TYTW.
TY. That doesn't flow very well.
No, that's not quite as good. But yeah, man, 95, getting that inch a little bit closer. We still have literally 0 plans, episode 100, so get excited.
Because no one cares.
That's totally true.
I mean,
yeah.
that's a bit of a negative to sound.
Yeah, but it's kind of true. Like, everyone's bored with our shit at this point.
Yeah. I don't blame them.
Like 100 episodes is a long time to be like, oh, it's them again.
Yeah. I feel like it's one of those shows where like you'll tune in around episode 20-ish,
yeah,
and then you'll see it pop up at episode like 100 and something like, oh, those guys
like,
are still going.
Holy shit, that's still a thing.
That's still a thing. The views haven't changed.
Yeah.
They're still going.
Yeah,
Good for them.
I don't see any improvements, but well done.
Yeah, they're committed.
They're persistent, at least. A good old rash.
This watch is chafing me.
Ooh. How you been, man?
Good.
Yeah? Yeah. How's being boss man?
Good, as he stares wistfully off into the distance. That was a stressful week, but we got to the end of it. Everything's sorted. It's all fine.
Very nice, very
nice.
nice.
All fine. It's just there's a lot of moving parts. You know, you'd think it'd just be, sure, you want your thing fixed, we'll get out here on this day. Done. It's not. There's so much more. So much behind the scenes stuff going on, but it's all right. We got there.
So I had to lay some people off. Had to rehire some people.
There's only 2 of us. I can't lay anybody off.
It's a very interesting afternoon.
Because, there's only 2 of us, and I can't legally go and fix anything. I'll book everyone in. I don't want to show up, but you booked it. I've done my part. Yeah,
and then they call, and you're like, well, I sent the truck out.
Yeah. Just down the hill, just put it in neutral. Go. Yeah, what about you? Good?
Yeah, been a pretty solid week, man. No major complaints. Yeah, just going through the motions.
Cool.
Doing what I do.
I finished a game this week. I started and finished.
Holy shit, that's pretty impressive. What'd you jump on?
Devil May Cry 5.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah.
Forgot about that. What do you think?
It's sick.
Yeah?
It is good.
Yeah.
It is very good. I haven't played one since, I think, number 1. Or 2. I vaguely remember playing one on PlayStation 1. I remember Ebony and Ivory.
Yep.
And I remember being fucking shit because I would have been like 7. Maybe a bit old. You know, I was very, very young. It's very good. Looks great. Great combat. Great sense of humour. Great characters. Decent story. Not the best story. It's serviceable. And it does harken back to the older games a lot.
Yeah,
but you do get at the title screen like a 10-minute recap video of everything.
Awesome.
So you can just watch that in the title screen, shown in like text and images and all that with a narrator. And
because my concern going to, because I've not played any Devil May Cry ever, and I know that there was a reboot a couple years ago, but it was a Ninja Theory, it was DMC, and then it was back to Devil May Cry 5. All I remember is that the combat was very similar, like God of War-y.
No,
sort of
it's
like
more
Bayonetta-y.
It's Bayonetta-y.
Yeah.
kind of introduced that style of 3D combat. I think the combo-based combat, where you get like a ranking in every fight. You know, the more different combos you use, the higher your ranking goes. The higher your ranking is in the fight, the more orbs you get to spend on your upgrades and all that. So you don't have to, like, you can kind of cheese it and just do the same thing over and over again, but your ranking will be D for dismal, which you don't want to. You're just seeing that on the screen, it's like, oh, I'm not proud of that fight. But then when you get like a double or triple S, because it goes, you know, A, S, I didn't know there was triple, and when that flashes up, you're like, you feel like a god. It's like, holy shit. But you're chaining all this shit together and doing all this cool stuff and weapon swapping and all that. It's good.
Yeah.
It's funny. A lot of very unexpected, humorous moments.
Explain.
I don't really want it to be a spoiler.
Oh, no, I mean, like, in terms of, like, what kind of humor are we talking here?
Just what the fuck is happening and why. I really want to talk about something. I don't know if it's a spoiler. It's a weapon that Dante gets. Cause
all right, mild potential spoilers.
It's a weapon spoiler. He gets a hat. Yeah? And the hat...
Like a cap or like a...
No, it's like a cowboy hat.
Okay, yeah.
And he can... when you've got that equipped, you can use your red orbs as attacks, and then you get more orbs back. But when he gets it, he dances like Michael Jackson. And but there's no music. He's like... and then at the end, like fireworks fly up behind him. He's like, "Yeah, I'm keeping this." I was just like, "What the fuck?" And like the motorcycle weapon that he gets, where he's like dual wielding a motorcycle. You can like drive with one as you like rev one, and it pulls you along as you like swinging the other one around. It's just it's bonkers. It is absolutely bonkers.
Is it well worth the pickup?
Yeah, look, I think the story I played on. I think it's called human difficulty, which is like, if you're new to the series, play on this first, which I did. The bosses are very cool, very unique designs and all that. I think it maybe about 12 hours to finish the story.
That's pretty good.
But I know there's so much more to get out of the game, like, because you beat it in this difficulty, and then you unlock that difficulty, and then you unlock that difficulty, and all your skill progress carries over and all that.
It's like lots of like New Game Plus and Plus.
Yeah, like New Game Plus, and there's like something about in the next version, you know, there's challenges to like get a photo of every enemy and all that kind of stuff. So I know I can extract more value for money. But I did pick up the Division 2, which will be taught. So I'll keep DMC5. I still got it. I'll go back to it at some point because I know that there's more I can get out of it. But it's a really good experience. Really fun. It's just fun. Just like from start to finish, it was just fun. Like, I can't put it any other way.
I am looking forward to some fun.
I can lend it to you. It's on Xbox, but I'm happy to.
Yeah,
I'm happy to chuck it to you.
I was just going to talk to Capcom, but like, yeah,
it's just fun. Like, I can't put it any other way. It's just from start to finish. I was having a great time. Nero is. I didn't like Nero initially. It's like, kind of edgy, but he's got a great story throughout it, and you play from 3 different perspectives. You play Nero, Dante, and V, who's a new character.
Okay.
He's like so emo. He's got like the trench coat and like the black hair.
I'm gonna relate to this so hard.
And he like reads from a book to power himself up and stuff, like all these
poems and shit.
Yeah, poetic and all, like Edgar Allan Poe and stuff like that. He's a great character too, though. They're all very.
That sounds awesome.
And different missions you play as different ones in certain parts, or then you can choose. I'm gonna be Dante for this one. But another cool thing is if there's certain missions where, depending which character you choose, you kind of take a different path to get.
So you can redo the same level.
You can, but the thing is, like, if I choose to play as Nero for this particular level and I'm going down my path, sometimes the paths intersect a little bit and you can see Dante on his path. But the Dante is someone else in real life who has chosen to play Dante, and you're watching them.
Oh, shit.
And then at the end of the level, when you finish it, you can rate them as stylish or not stylish.
Oh, that's very cool.
I didn't realise that at first. I'm like, oh, cool, there's Dante. He's like doing his thing. But then I saw like the guy's name, and then at the end it's like, do you want to rate this guy's performance? I was like, oh, shit, that's actually someone else playing at the same time as me on the same level. Just our paths just kind of intersected.
Fuck, that's
you don't actually get to communicate with them. It's like there's a hole in the wall and you can see Dante going like doing all these things, and there's actually someone doing it, and I thought that was a very, very cool touch.
That's awesome.
It was a very, very cool touch. I really, really liked it. Great game. Fantastic game.
Yeah, you kind of sold me.
I'm really excited to play some more when I got some free time.
Yeah.
It's good. The characters are very, very good. There's one girl there who's like the gunsmith kind of girl. Such a thick thick accent, like Southern American, like Texan.
Well, howdy,
And at first I was like,
Jesus Christ.
oh, whoa, that's kind of overbearing. But she's actually fucking hilarious and a great character.
Very nice.
Very, very good game. Very, very good game.
Very nice.
Very glad I played it.
Yeah,
Just on a whim. I was sitting there on Sunday, I'm like, I'm so fucking bored.
Do you go and buy it?
I just went and bought it. I'm like, I'm just going to go play this.
Nice.
It's like $65 from Big W. Big W, cheap on the new games.
Yeah, well, cool. Well,
Same
now
as
with
Division 2 is like $65.
now with Target not being in the gaming marketplace, Kmart's
they stepped out,
Kmart's
have
not
they?
been there. Oh, they just keep slowly purging all their shit. So it's pretty much Big W, JB and EB at the moment.
Yeah.
And eventually it'll be JB and EB. Just
Yeah, I imagine Big W will phase it out eventually. But for the moment, new releases, very cheap.
because the profit they're making on is like dollars.
Yeah, well, I remember when I worked at Dick
Excuse
Smith,
me.
I could check profit margins and like a new game selling for $69, you can check our buy it price and it was like $55.
Yeah.
So they're making like $10.
And even then, like with inflation and like the
Yeah.
price of games not changing, I imagine that's like
Probably a
$62.
lot less now.
You know,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. It's let's have it cheap, let's get people in the store.
And
hopefully
ideally they'll come here and
hopefully
buy
they'll
something
see
else.
something else and go, I'll take that.
Yeah, which tends to happen.
Same as like selling TVs. A lot of TVs have no profit margin in them, but the HDMI cables,
Yeah, the
and
cables are bonkers.
the surge
stupid.
protectors, you know, the cable's $50, it cost you like $6 to get in. That's what you made.
Yeah, and then you know if they need a Blu-ray player to go with it, and then any DVDs, and then like you kind of like if you go in with a TV, people tend to want to spend big.
Yeah. I was talking economics for some reason.
Yeah.
What about
Business
what have you been
economics.
playing?
Yeah, pretty quiet week, man. Not played a lot. The one I had probably spent the most time with since last week was Metro Exodus. I did try going back because we did say that last it was going to be our review, and I think we'll bang it out now.
Put it off for a while.
we put it off. So let's bang it out now. So, Metro Exodus, the third in the Metro series. The big stylistic difference of this one is that you are out in the wild. You are out in the open. Previously, you would spend your time in the Metro, the subway tunnels, and then you discover that you can go up and out, and then you explore the world around you. I myself, not having played a lot, if any, of the original Metros, it kind of puts this in a weird perspective. So playing this, the beginning of the game is slow as fuck. It's so painfully slow. But once you do get out of the Metro and on the train and you go and you explore and you do your little pit stops and you do all your cool stuff, that's where the game really kind of gets its momentum. Now, saying that, I do think, even without playing it, I feel there is a loss of charm by not being in the subway system. Now, you've played both Metros, and you've also played Exodus, but then you pissed it off because you didn't enjoy it. Am I spot on there?
Kind of. I just found like what I liked about the initial Metro titles were the linearity of them. I liked that it's just 7 or 8 hours, just a good story, you know, kind of non-stop, no real slow moments. It's just, here's a good compact story. I'm just kind of, I don't know, I don't like the game in that open world setting. It just didn't click with me. Now, I didn't get very far in it. I did get the train out. I did do the first few missions out in the open world, and I kind of see what it's going for. But for me, it just didn't resonate the way the first two did.
Yeah.
With that very, you know, linear experience. Unfortunately. Now, everything, like all the systems and all that from the other two games are still there, and they're all greatly improved upon. And I love the stylistic approach of no HUD and all that
isn't
kind
it
of stuff.
brilliant?
It's beautiful,
absolutely beautiful.
absolutely beautiful, very clever. Everything's integrated into your watch, and you know you got to wipe the dirt off your mask and all that kind of stuff. Very, very cool. I like the game and the idea of it, but just that open world setting just didn't grab me, unfortunately.
I think you sort of you love all the ideas, but the execution's a little bit off.
Yeah.
And I kind of agree with you there.
Which apparently it's not.
Yeah.
People are fucking loving it.
People are loving it, but I think
for
it's what we want. So like I kind of agree with you there. I think the execution's a little bit off, but I think that comes down to also my expectations. Now, knowing that the original two were technically like AA games at best, I was under the like the way this game was being sold to me, I believe this was like another AAA game. So then I boot it up and I get into it, and it still feels like a AA game. It has the visual prettiness of AAA, but then you sort of get these real janky face movements, really janky physics, and like physics is probably the wrong thing, but like there's moments in it that just feel subpar. When you look at it, it looks brilliant, and then you try to move around, you try to do things, and it's a little bit shitty. Right, but that comes down to the game itself, because the game is always supposed to be more of a walking simulator with guns rather than a first-person action game. So there's a bit of jank there. But saying that, though, like, you know, there's a moment early on. I'll just use an example because the first moment I went, wow, like, you have to get off your train, you jump in a boat, and you got to scoot around to some little church. Right, that's what you saw me play last week. And like there was like an oil slick on the water, and the way the light refracted off it, and you know the way it sort of dispersed, and like with no HUD, and you're in this boat, it's awesome. It looks beautiful, and like that to me, I'm like, that's super impressive. Now on top of that, if you are playing it on PC with the RTX graphics card or whatever, I imagine it looks amazing, like beyond understandable. But the gameplay I felt was a little bit shoddy.
Yeah. It's a very heavy kind of gameplay, very slow and methodical.
Which is fine. Like I
dig
fine. That.
You need to go into it with that expectation that it's not like Apex. You know, you're not sliding around doing all this cool shit. You know, you take your time, you scope things out. You know, try to stealth a few. You want to avoid the gunfights. Really, you want to do it as quietly as you can. But yeah, I can't say much more because I didn't play much more of it. It just didn't click.
My real big concern that comes with this game, and I think it's more of the perception, because even I was talking to you about some of my nitpicks with it, and you're like, well, that's Metro. I don't think that's an okay reasoning. Like, yes, it's true, but it's like, well, it's just how it is. Like, that's no. But then again, it could be that, once again, it's also that subjective line, right? And the people are praising this game out of the butt, like everyone thinks it's the best game in the world. And for us, it's just not quite there.
I can see that it is a very, very good game. It's just, maybe I'm open world burnt out because I picked it up just after 90 hours in Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So maybe I was just not in that mindset to play that kind of a game.
Yeah, I do certainly think I'll go back to it, because I sort of left it at a good point, like right at the end of a mission. So if I jump back in, it'll be able to kick back off and just keep that momentum going, not like lost someone going, oh, I don't know what I was doing. I do still wish that they had a Russian voice track with an English subtitles. I don't know why they don't have that. That would be way more immersive for me personally.
Pretty sure the other games did. I'm pretty sure.
Like, you can put Russian subtitles on. I'm like, oh, I don't care about that.
I can't read Russian.
Yeah. Like, give me because like the accents all feel like B-grade movie Russian accents. But that could, once again, they could be genuine Russian people talking English, and I'm just being Hollywood racist, you know what I mean? But it's like, it's just the delivery, because of that, delivery seems so janky and off. Like, even in the idea of, everyone talking over each other, I don't have a problem with that, but the delivery of those lines is shit, and that's what makes it, rather than sounding like a genuine conversation, it sounds like three people reading lines over each other.
I think a lot of it is, especially for Anna, Artyom's wife, it seems overacted.
Yeah.
A lot. Most of the time. Yeah, it just seems, it doesn't feel organic. Like, that's not how people speak, really. Yeah. It's really forced and, has to be loud and has to have all the emphasis and all that. And it's just not how people talk most of the time. So. I don't have much. I didn't play much more.
About there. So that's our review of Metro Exodus. The game is pretty solid if you want to spend that time in that world.
I wouldn't even say review. It's just impressions.
It's our final thoughts.
It's
our final thoughts on Metro Exodus, because we're not going to talk about it again. We've this is like what, week 4 of bits and pieces. Like, we've
talked about enough.
We talked about enough. We've given it a red hot go. It just doesn't seem to tickle all our fancies. And Paul James is here. He says, sorry I'm late, gents. Fatherly duties and editing a new Dev Diary episode means I didn't see the notification. And he's just been playing The Division 2.
I feel you on that, Paul. We'll be talking about that soon.
Shortly. But now, we're going to talk about this. Wait, what's the segment here? What's the...
Inform the players.
Yeah, I know what it's called, but what's the... Whatever. It's now time to talk about this week in PlayStation News in a section we call Inform the Players.
Yeah, there you go.
Who would have thought we'd done it 95 times?
Yeah. Number 1, a rumour that was, I have to put was here now, making waves across the internet suggested Sony is in, quote, advanced board-level discussions to take over GTA publisher Take-Two Interactive. Though there are plenty of reasons to be skeptical of this rumour, because Sony have since refuted it, but we'll get onto it. Especially because it comes from an unconfirmed market chatter, initially reported by MarketWatch in a stock market overview pertaining to Boeing and Brexit. A small note about Take-Two Interactive popped up. MarketWatch has since revised the article, but the full pertinence section previously said, quote, Take-Two Interactive software stock climbed 4.7% on rumours that Sony Corp is in advanced board-level discussions to acquire Take-Two Interactive in a mostly cash deal that would value the company at $130 share, according to Joel Colina, head of technology and media trading at Wedbush Securities. So Sony have since gone, nah. Yeah. But you were like, that'd be fucking sick. So you want to talk about it?
Yeah. So it's a weird combination of when I first read these articles as they dropped, I was like, that's not gonna happen. But if it did. like that is huge, because Take-Two is a massive, massive corporation, and to have them under their belt and presumably their subsidiaries, that's bonkers. Now, that's not implying that Take-Two would then become a Sony exclusive, but if it did, holy fuck.
But Take-Two is one of the richest publishers in the world, probably only behind maybe Epic Games.
Currently,
in terms of third-party stuff, because of Fortnite. But we've seen the figures on how much money GTA 5 Online has brought in, and I just can't see a situation where they'd relinquish anything. But it would be a huge pickup.
Yeah, is that weird? Like,
if anything, you'd want if those talks were actually happening, Microsoft would be like, no, wait. Please stop.
Yeah. It's like, we'll do anything.
We'll do fucking anything.
Like, my understanding, because if I recall, you might have to Google this for me, but I think under Take-Two, then we have the likes of 2K. And Paul jumped in. He says it's the third largest publisher behind Activision and EA.
Oh, there you go. What did you want me to look at?
Just to search Take-Two under like Wiki, and they'll see what companies are underneath it.
Take-Two TV series.
Take-Two Interactive, there we go.
Take-Two is an American crime comedy drama.
Whoa!
Hey.
Let's see.
Publishers.
Well, there you go. Your products, you got 2K, like, so...
Where are you looking?
Down the right-hand side, you got products, you got WWE 2K, you got your XComs, like, there's a lot of...
Bioshock, Borderlands, Civ, GTA 5, Mafia, Max Payne, Midnight Club, MLB 2K, NBA 2K, Red Dead, WWE 2K, and XCOM.
Yeah, so the big standouts for Take-Two are obviously Rockstar, and then you got your Take-Two 2K games, and I believe there's a couple other in there as well. But like that pickup alone, even if they happen to just make them still release them as third parties, because that would be a monopoly. Like I don't know whether the games industry has some sort of like overarching head to ensure that there's no monopoly available. No. But if they own that and they make it first party, that instantly just obliterates PC and or Xbox.
It would, but we're just talking about a rumor that was refuted. So speculating.
Yeah, but everything gets refuted until it gets confirmed. That's what I'm saying. Hashtag edgy t-shirt.
I just can't see a world
where
that would happen.
There's no way that it can. But like the origin of the rumor seems to baffle me. It just kind of appeared out of nowhere. Like, I'm pretty sure Jason Schreier, someone's like, "Hey, Jason, what do you think?" He's like, "No." Like, it's like I don't have anything to say because it's not real.
Number 2, Lady Gaga may be making an appearance in CDPR's upcoming dystopian RPG Cyberpunk 2077. According to French site Actu Gaming, Lady Gaga and CDPR are collaborating for the game, and the artist has already visited the Polish studio to take part in motion capture, suggesting she will have a character role in the game itself. In addition, Actu Gaming claim the collaboration will be officially announced at this year's E3, with Gaga rumoured to be making an appearence at the gaming convention.
Hey!
That's cool as.
Yeah, man.
Lady Gaga, ever since I saw her in American Horror Story, like my respect level and appreciation just fucking skyrocketed, because she can act so good.
Well, she just won a fucking Oscar for it, for Star is Born.
Yeah.
So there's that.
That's a huge pickup, and that certainly kind of brings different eyes to the game. Because everyone knows who Lady Gaga is. Not everyone will know what Cyberpunk 2077 is.
Yeah.
In the broad, general populace sense. So that's a cool pickup. I like Lady Gaga heaps. I actually, when me and the kids put up Christmas trees, we take turns picking a song,
Yeah.
and I was always just Lady Gaga. It just gets me going, man.
Yeah.
Like Poker Face and the way. I'm a
big fan of paparazzi.
And my daughter's
personally.
just like, what are you doing? Because she's 14. It's
She's
not
like,
cool.
She's like, Dad, not cool. And you're
stop.
like,
And then
Gary man,
Yeah.
Gary man.
got the telephone.
Yeah, that song's dope.
But then she-
Telephone paparazzi in my jam.
So yeah, I have huge respect for her, and I'm very hopeful that this is true. It's very, very cool.
Speaking of music stars getting involved with games, I did read this week as well, it was discussed on The Young and the Restless, that Eminem will be joining 2K20, WWE 2K20.
In what role?
As a music producer and potentially a spot in the thing. I don't know.
Let's put him on the roster.
Just put him on the roster. So there's another. See, this is the weird thing. See,
They should, if they do,
yeah,
they should have like what Mick Foley has with Cactus Jack and all that. You know,
Just
Slim
give-
Shady, Marshall Mathers,
Oh,
and Eminem.
That would be brilliant.
That would be cool.
So the big difference here is Lady Gaga's in her prime right now. Like, although she's had her, her music is maybe not as popular as her first album. Like, she's still around. She's still popular. She's still prevalent. Where Eminem has kind of gone on a slight decline.
Has he though? I feel like we're talking about him now more than the last decade.
Well, yeah, because he kind of went away for a little bit with, like, sort of the drugs and the rehab and the relapse and all that sort of stuff. But, like, in terms of his musical, like, he's not considered as high level as he once was.
Oh, I don't know.
So it's still a cool pickup nonetheless, but I do feel that Lady Gaga is a more interesting story
Oh yeah, absolutely.
compared to the two.
Yeah.
This shit shows a big difference in the music scene.
Is she's not like Polish or anything. Like, she doesn't have heritage there or anything, does
I think
she?
she's just American
Just
white
seems
girl.
weird. Like, how would they even have contacted you? I don't understand.
Maybe because she has maybe because of futuristic-y, weird, obscure looks kind of fits the game.
She doesn't really do that anymore, though, does
No,
she?
she
Like
kind
the
of
meat suit that she...
Yeah, she's now kind of like gone past that. She can just be her.
Yeah.
Which is very cool.
Number 3, the nominations for 2019's BAFTAs. What's the abbreviation of that for you?
The British Art and Film and Television Awards.
That's it. Have been revealed, and Sony Santa Monica Studios' God of War pulled ahead of its competition with the most nominations overall, having been nominated in 7 categories. God of War closely followed by Red Dead Redemption 2 and Return of the Obra Dinn, both with 6 nominations each. The winners will be announced Thursday, April 4th. I've just pulled up 2 categories. The nominees for Best Game: Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Astrobot, Rescue Mission,
Astrobot.
Celeste, God of
Oh,
War,
buddy,
Red
what's
Dead
this
Redemption 2, and Return of the Obra Dinn. I did have another category. I don't know what I did. We'd see Astrobot in there.
It's very cool. Astrobot's brilliant.
You'd think... I think the BAFTAs look at more
artsy.
the artsy technical aspect of things, which apparently
The
Astrobot was
technical
incredible.
aspect of Astrobot is brilliant. Like, I love that game endlessly.
And Return of the Obra Dinn. But I keep seeing it. I don't even know what
I
it
remember
looks like.
if I distinctly remember having a really interesting art style, which is probably why it's come up here.
Maybe.
I remember like not being your standardy 3D looking thingy. It's like black and white or some shit.
It is black and white, yeah. Sorry, listeners, just have a look.
There you go. It's
Oh,
like
that's
yeah,
interesting.
that's what I
okay,
thought it was.
Yeah. So that's that. We'll talk more about
God
that
of War.
We'll talk more about that on April, the
Whatever.
episode after that, when the winners have been announced. No Man's Sky Beyond has been announced, and the first part of its new free update will be No Man's Sky Online.
Oh.
Unveiled by developer Hello Games and Sean Murray, No Man's Sky Beyond will arrive this summer on PS4, summer US, on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Will contain 3 major updates rolled into one larger free release. The first and only currently known component of this update will be No Man's Sky Online. In Murray's own words, quote, No Man's Sky Online includes a radical new social and multiplayer experience which empowers players everywhere in the universe to meet and play together. He isn't calling it a traditional MMO, even though they will have many recognisable online elements, as it will require no subscription, won't feature any microtransactions, and will simply be a free update to all current No Man's Sky players. Current and future No Man's Sky players.
Damn.
They're still working on this thing,
Yeah.
and every update since release has been completely free. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a big turnaround, because, everyone knows when No Man's Sky launched, everyone knows that kind of history and all that. But Hello Games, like, they doubled down and they're like, no, we're going to fix this and fix our name and our brand. And they have completely. 100%.
Yeah, no, true. Like, people tend to forget the No Man's Sky issues. Like, granted, everyone remembers that it all kind of came out sour, but everyone's like, yeah, but it's really good now. Like, every time someone mentions No Man's Sky, it's, yeah, but it's really good now.
But it is. That's the thing. That's the crazy thing.
Because you still have my copy, I believe.
I think I do, yes. But they could have just bailed.
Yeah, they could have. They
really
could have
just bailed. They would have made so much money off launch because of the hype. They could have, but they didn't. So I have mad respect for Hello Games and Sean Murray being able to show his face in public again.
Yeah,
because that dude was.
Yeah, the PR nightmare.
Under scrutiny.
Yeah, the PR nightmare around No Man's Sky was like palpable. Like it was fucked.
But it's more that he feels comfortable doing it because he was getting death threats and all that stupid shit gamers do. So yeah, I'm excited. And
see, saying that though, like I have gone. Well, I did go back at the last big update for No Man's Sky, and I liked the changes. However, because the core loop is still the same, kind of do it for me.
Maybe one of these updates and beyond.
Maybe.
I'll give you disc back because I actually purchased it on PSN.
Hey, nice.
Because Alex wanted to play and the whole shared content thing. Top selling games for week ending last week.
Sure.
Starting at number 10, Black Ops 4. Number 9, NBA 2K19. Number 8, The Lego Movie 2. Number 7, Kingdom Hearts 3. Number 6, FIFA 19. Number 5, Metro Exodus. Number 4, Anthem. Number 3, Far Cry New Dawn. Number 2, Red Dead Redemption 2. And number 1, Devil May Cry 5.
It's very funny because I was going to say, whatever happened to Kingdom Hearts? But it's right there.
That's it.
Yeah.
Anthem slowly kind of...
Yeah,
look, there has been a lot of news and stuff with Anthem, but I haven't played it, so I don't really feel comfortable giving my 2 cents on it because I'm not experiencing it. But
well, we can discuss what's been said.
Well, that's just shit happening.
Yeah.
Like the loot drops are really bad, and then a bug kind of fixed them, and everyone was like, "This is amazing."
And then they exploited that bug, and then
but then they fixed the bug, so it went back to how it was. Everyone's like, "Your game was almost just fixed because of this bug, and you took it out," and. Yeah, a lot of people like doing online protests in the game or some shit.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I did see this idea of, well, for this one day, we should all not play it. Like, they don't care.
Yeah.
You've already spent your money.
No, the developers care. Regardless of what anyone says.
Because they're not... They aren't sticking it to BioWare. They're sticking it to EA.
Yeah, no, I understand that. But the developers care.
Oh, of course they do.
And I'm sure that this is a very, very stressful time for them.
Well,
it's important to remember that devs are people,
yeah,
and I'm sure they're doing their best.
With I think the concern here is with the history of EA and their known ability to just shut studios willy-nilly and just shut shit down.
Nah, BioWare's
that's the concern.
safe.
Like I think that's why we heard about
Dragon Age.
Yeah,
BioWare's fine. BioWare are not going to get shut down.
Yeah, not yet.
That'll be the last studio they shut down, I'd imagine. Well, maybe Respawn's their golden goose at the moment though, with Apex.
Yeah, true.
Star Wars apparently coming out this year.
Yeah,
Jedi
Fallen Order.
Or some shit. And the Quickbits, Gearbox has shown off another game that it plans to unveil during PAX East. It appears to be a brand new title. Looks like a sci-fi game of some sorts featuring robots.
Saying that they did also leak that image. They put out that picture of like a road sign with a little 3 hidden in the corner, and it looks to be Borderlands.
I'm pretty sure that was the road sign from Borderlands 1.
Yeah, I think it is.
If I see it right.
Yeah, so exit 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
So I myself, I'm like, oh, okay. But like, I know people like likes of Paul and a couple of other my friends are just super keen.
I'm excited. I love Borderlands, but I'm just gonna I'll wait till.
For me, I'm like, how is this what's this game gonna do that's different in this looter shooter market?
Yeah, but I know it is a looter shooter, but it's also not. It's not like Destiny.
Yeah, no, but
or any of that.
It's not the online looter, but like that system is still there. Because even in Borderlands 2, right, where they're like, we have 800 guns. It's one gun with 12 different colors, and then that kind of makes the changes, right?
Yeah, but you look at Borderlands 1 to Borderlands 2, a completely different game.
Yeah,
Borderlands
2 was much improved.
Is better in every possible aspect. I don't see any reason why they couldn't do it, because the thing with Borderlands though is you can do looter shooting, but it also has a fantastic campaign and characters for 25-30 hours anyway.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to play it as a looter shooter. You can just, I want to see this story because the world and characters are fucking cool.
Yeah, the story alone will be what will surpass it compared to the online ones, because they all have subpar stories comparatively.
Yeah. The PS Vita section has been removed from the PlayStation blog.
Oh,
it's gone. Sony are officially like, okay, that's it. Yacht Club Games has teased a new game, showing a gif of what appears to potentially be some type of ninja with a sword standing in the shadows, staring out onto a ruined city while a storm rages above.
Well, hopefully
that quote's from IGN.
Nice. Well, hopefully this Yacht Club game is not Shovel Knight.
No. So what it seems to be, Shovel Knight is kind of like a spiritual Mega Man.
Mm-hmm.
I'd assume, this is just me, that this may be a spiritual Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, shit. Oh.
But I'm glad to see they are working on something other than Shovel Knight,
Ooh.
because from everything I've heard, they are fucking sick of Shovel Knights. With King of Cards coming out sometime this year.
Got mildly delayed, didn't it?
Got mildly delayed, but it'll be out this year. So I'm glad to see that they're able to kind of start moving on to different things now, because they are a great studio, and I respect them very much. That's it for the news, Ryan. As we move into a section where we have a chat to the players about the Division 2.
So the reason we're having this one is because a couple of weeks ago when we did jump into the beta, we both had the same sort of opinion of, beta was fine, probably not going to pick it up.
Beta was not fun. Beta was shit.
Well, there you go. The beta was shit. I thought it was fine. I'm like, probably not going to pick it up. And then I get this message from you going, I found Air Force One. Wait, you're playing Division, aren't you? Maybe.
Hey, look, it's a Capitol building while I stand on the Air Force One's broken wing with my character.
This game's good.
This game's really good. So I picked it up. I was always going to pick it up.
Yeah,
I think I was kidding myself.
Yeah, I think you may have oversold yourself with the special edition. That may have been because
possibly
because you're investing those dollars. You're like, man, it's not worth the big dollar spend.
No, so when I picked it up again, I kind of went in with a different perspective, because when I played the beta, I just played the Division 1 again, and I don't know. I think I was just expecting something very different. More of the Division 1, and it's not. It's a completely different game in pretty much every sense.
All right.
So I went in with that new perspective, and I was like, actually, this is really fucking...
So
the opening. Wow.
Yeah.
Because it's different from the beta.
Oh, what?
The beta picks up... You get a cutscene before the beta starts. Where the beta started, there is an opening cutscene before that. And instantly I was like, holy shit.
With all the text and stuff coming up.
No, there's footage and talking and gunplay and all that kind of stuff. I was like, holy shit. You were... Whoa, that's fucking cool. I'll tell you after this.
Yeah.
It's not a spoiler, but it was a cool surprise.
It's very likely I'm running a JB after this.
Yeah. And then it kind of picks up with the beta, But the game is just fucking brilliant. I don't know what it is. I'm so sucked in. First off, it runs better than the beta did. I found it to be a much, much smoother experience. I haven't had any of the FPS or the crashes or anything like that. I know PC users are getting some crashes, but hey, that's PC, suck a dick. It looks and feels a lot better. The movement feels better. Going cover to cover, the gunplay, everything to me just feels crisp. Just crispy. It's very, very good. I've just kind of got lost in it, man. I'm having just fun exploring. I'm appreciating the AI a bit more this time. In the beta, I was getting really frustrated. I'm like, this is just fucking ridiculous.
Because they were flanking a bit harder.
Flanking really hard. Like, this is a fucking joke, and there's grenades fucking coming at you. But now I'm kind of appreciating it, because I was doing... True Sons are the first group you run into other than the hyenas, who are like your gangsters. True Sons used to be JTF, which are the Joint Task Force, the good guys who got disillusioned and they broke away, and they're like, the only way to fix this is Iron Fist and all that kind of stuff. And I was reading a bit of their in-game lore. Iron Fist. I was reading a bit of their in-game lore, and none of them have likely seen combat, but they're very organised. So when you initially start fighting a group of them, they use cover, they try to use grenades to get you out of the cover. But as their numbers dwindle, because they haven't had that, they panic and they become a bit more, they rush you and stuff because they don't know what to fucking do. And then once you realise that, you can kind of start planning around that. But it's just how the AI kind of works is very, very, it's very smart. It's good AI. And seeing them panic and rush you, you're like, fuck. I was fighting them yesterday. I don't know if it was hyenas or True Sons. And I hid behind cover and put my turret out and just sit there. One goes, "You fucking pussy!" I was like, "Yeah, I am." Fucking shit.
Wow.
Yeah. Everything just seems better than the beta. I can't explain it. I can't put it down to a single thing. But it runs better. It feels better. It looks better. Seeing the map and having the stories kind of chained together. The story is very cool.
Yes.
There's one mission where you go to the Space and Arts Museum or something like that,
Okay.
and you do a battle in the planetarium.
Pardon?
So you're in the planetarium, and the voiceover's like, Mars is blah 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 blah, but you've got like the solar system above you, and it's zooming in on things as you're in a gunfight, and then like at the top of the planetarium, the sniper will like smash a window from the top and start like sniping you from there. And I was just like, this is incredible. This is like a set piece I've never ever kind of been in before. And going through the museums, and it's like you're going through like the Vietnam Museum, and you can actually like read about America's history in Vietnam and all that. And the settings are amazing. Although last night I'm like, I'm going to get drunk and play in the Dark Zone until I fall asleep on the couch. But the servers went down for maintenance. But
So it's got drunk plus on the couch.
I just got drunk on the couch. My initial concerns were with the betas that the Dark Zone didn't feel the same.
Yeah.
It didn't have that tension, but it totally does. I don't know why I thought it didn't, because when I did the initial mission and went into the Dark Zone, my heart started beating. I was like, oh, there it is.
You were drunk.
Oh, yeah, I was a bit drunk. But I was like, oh, just that. I don't know, when you enter the Dark Zone, it's like, entering Dark Zone, transmission's jammed, and just your heart just starts going a bit faster. And I was like, this is that feeling I was looking for that I just didn't get in the beta. Maybe in the beta I'm like, none of this matters because it's not my character.
Well, because
maybe that was niggling in my head.
Yeah, the first thing that stopped me was it's like, you have to choose from 3 characters. Like you can't.
No, the customization's decent.
Oh, good. Because that's what may have stopped me in the beta.
There's like 19 faces, 20 different hairstyles. Cool. It's not deep, but you've got hats and sunnies and masks and beanies and all that kind of shit.
Beards? I'm
a girl.
Oh.
I look like Ellie from The Last of Us.
Nice.
I'm role playing. I'm not really. It's just how it turned out. I don't know. I've found in my games lately, I'm just preferring to play a female character or something. I don't know.
Something different.
Just something different. The booty. You can't see it because the backpacks are fucking huge. But I'm like level 15 at the moment.
What's the cap? 30?
30 initially. And I'm Dark Zone level 10 because there's separate leveling in the Dark Zone. It's just really good. I don't know what it is. I don't know exactly what changed, but it just feels like a better experience than the beta was giving me. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. Well, because the thing is, like, as we've been seeing it drop and more people have been talking about it, like I said, a handful of like my friends and the other outlets that we deal with, the likes of 8-Bit and Paul and Player 2 sort of stuff, and they've all been like, oh, we're playing Division. I'm like, yeah, but I didn't. Like, I'm weak. I'm a weak human. So seeing all this, I'm like, no.
You only have to pay about $30 with your voucher. Didn't you say you have a JB voucher?
It's a $100 voucher.
Oh, you don't even have to pay for it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Really?
That's what that's when on top of that, when I was like, because I was like, well, I don't want to reach out for it because I'm too lazy to do anything with it. I was gonna buy it.
I'm gonna be playing it for a long time.
Yeah, I'm gonna go buy it.
I'm gonna be playing it for a long time.
Saying that though, I do kind of want to then go back to Division 1 and like give that a red hot go, because now that everyone's over Division 2, I should be able to have a reasonably clean time.
I'd imagine that the Division 1 is going to maintain a reasonable player base. Because I know that there are people who are like, the Division 2 just doesn't click with me like number 1 did, and that's how I thought I felt during the beta. But people have put hundreds and hundreds of hours into the Division 1, and not everyone's just going to straight up abandon that either. I'd imagine that they'll have a reasonable player base.
And once again, because I originally played Division 1 at launch, right? So I imagine there is staggeringly better like improvements.
Oh, it's fucking
from
crazy.
then and now.
It's absolutely crazy.
So like for that reason, I'd like to. So I might go pick up just both. One will be 64. One will be like 12.
Yeah, the Division 1. Yeah, it's like I think I bought it for $9.
Yeah,
about 2 months ago, just to give it a go before Division 2. It's very good. It's an improvement in every possible way, and even the dynamic weather is very, very good. The thunderstorms are the best. It's just bucketing rain, there's thunder, there's flashes in the sky of lightning, it's dark because of how grey the clouds are, and you're in this gunfight and the only lights are like the illumination of the muzzles.
Yeah, the muzzle
flash.
One thing I did see on a little clip the other day was, remember in the original trailer, the original gameplay trailer for Division, where they had we hide behind the car and you shut the car door as you walk past.
Yeah.
They do that now.
Yeah, Well, they did that in number 1.
Apparently they didn't.
No, they did.
At launch,
It was
they didn't.
it's an achievement in number
Yeah.
1 to shut a car door with your ass. And in the trailer, when she did that, the crowd's like, yeah, we can still do that. Yeah, if you're using it as cover and you like walk along the door, you'll just.
Yeah, because I remember there being controversy around that not being implemented in the game. I think they may have put it in a bit later.
No, it's totally there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I did it. There's no achievement in this time around though,
Oh.
which is a bit shame.
What other
But
trophies like?
I haven't looked.
Okay. Are you popping them regularly?
No, I don't
Oh.
think I've popped any achievements other than the story mission achievements. I don't think I've popped anything.
Interesting.
I imagine it'd be a pretty extensive list.
Because I know friend of the show Jack Cruz, when he was streaming back in the day, like his goal was to get the plat on stream, and it took him a fucking long time.
Yeah,
For number 1.
yeah. No, I'd imagine it's pretty heavy plat. I was looking at in-game achievements because in-game, if you do certain things, you get different badges, patches you can kind of sew onto your sleeve, and one of them is to have a month's worth of playtime, the 28 days played. So that's
What?
it's like 900 and something hours, I think.
Jesus.
I'll get there. I don't have much more to say. It's disregard everything I said after the beta and how jaded and cuntish I was, because getting into it now, it's everything I could have hoped for. Really.
Well, because for you're coming out from a different place, because you had the next couple of months lined up for
I
games.
did. Yes.
So you had like Division, Sinking City,
Metro,
Metro, Sekiro,
Days Gone,
Rage
Rage 2.
2.
Yeah.
So now with
Metro didn't do it for me. Sinking City got delayed. So I'm like,
Division was initially in there.
the Division was a nerd, which is why I bought DMC5. So I'm like, I need fucking something to play. I need something new to play. So yeah, my will broke on launch day at JB at 9 o'clock in the morning. Dropped Alex.
Oh, you went hard.
Dropped Alex off at school because it's even with the disc, it's a 45 gig download.
Yeah.
So I couldn't play until like 2 o'clock. My Xbox is weird with downloads. Explain to me this. This isn't related to Division 2. Me and Alex, same room, same router, LAN cables in. His Xbox, flat out 150, 200 meg non-stop for downloading, down. Mine, 100, 80, 50, 30, nothing. Up to a...
If you who's
Swapped the cable, took Alex's out completely, used his cable. Nothing I do changes how my Xbox is performing. Checked all the DNS settings to Alex's to mine. Everything is the same. I think my Xbox is just a bit funky with the network card.
maybe because normally the way it tends to work on the back of it with a router is like it's the numbering order 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 1 takes priority, 2, 3, 4, and then goes down and down.
Yeah.
But if you guys are running 1 and 2, that'll happen.
We were 1 and 2. He was 1, but then I swapped him, and he was still getting 150, 200, and mine was still kind of up, down.
Might be somewhere. I don't know because yes, yeah.
The only thing that shits me with my Xbox, I'm like, this fucking stupid fucking. Watching Alex's like fucking super speed, and mine's just like.
Because the real problem, like, is it's the I was gonna say the problem with the PlayStation, right? Is like we're at MBN, we have 100 down, like that's where it should be. It normally sits about 90 on average, and then I plug the PlayStation in, and it's like 12.
Yeah.
Like you're hardwired.
No, but my PS4 was similar, where sometimes I'd have a 5 gig update, and it'd be like ETA 2 hours. It's like, what the fuck? And then sometimes a different game, ETA, a minute and a half for the same. And I just watch the download bar just fucking fly. I'm like, what is happening on the back end? I don't know.
I think it prioritizes what are big and what are important. So I think downloading Division 2 right now would be like, okay, because I think it maybe in the same way when you defrag your computer, it moves what are commonly accessed things like up into priority spots and sort of stuff. I think it's probably the same thing.
I don't know.
But so from
Anyway,
what you've played,
the game's really fucking good.
would you consider this the Orion game?
I don't know. It depends what you want to get out of it, because like you know that I love these repetitive gear grind, always trying to optimize the gear sets and find the best piece of loot and all that. I like that. But I think as a single player experience, I think you'll still get a kick out of it, because the main missions and the set pieces in them are shit I've never seen before. And it, like I said, the planetarium and all that kind of stuff, that's just one example. Every main mission has something that's like, holy shit, like that's fucking awesome. I think so.
And so you
Even if you don't do the end game grind.
yeah. So do you find the world better than New York?
Not necessarily. I think they've both got their charms. I loved the quiet isolation of New York. A lot of people thought it felt very dead, but I was like, this is kind of how, like, this is how it would kind of be, I suppose. You know, you got your safe houses, but you're the division agent. You've got to fucking sort this shit out. And, you know, it's isolating and it's very ambient, whereas Washington being 7 months later, which is where this is set, people are trying to rebuild, and there are settlements, and, you know, there are people confident enough to patrol outside, so you're not alone anymore. You're there to help rebuild, not sort this shit out.
So Paul's jumped in the chat and he's gone, play it! And he goes, I just jumped on to see if either of you were on, forgetting this was live. Dead brain.
It's a different atmosphere. Still very good, but it's very different. You have to get that Division 1 mindset out, I think, before you can enjoy the Division 2 for what it is. And also having the base of operations as the White House is fucking sick.
Yeah, still cool.
Especially upgrading things and all that. You know, see certain wings of the White House open up to you and stuff like that. If you unlock the firing range at the White House, it's the White House's bowling alley. It's been like refurbished to be the firing range, which is cool. At the firing range, this is just a random little thing. There's different. Each bowling alley has a different. You can check your DPS in this one. You can check your accuracy against moving targets in this one. You can check your AOE damage in this bowling alley. This is cool little. I was like, oh, that's clever. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I'm going
It's
to
very
JB after something.
It's very good. Despite what I said about the Vita impressions, they were still honest impressions at that time. But getting into it now, I'm like, yeah, this is dope. This is everything I could have asked for.
And the best thing is, because unlike normally where we may be able to get a code our way, no code for this one. Not that we ever are biased or anything, but you can take that as it is. Yeah.
Because I didn't fucking want it.
Yeah, because I asked him, like, do you want me to reach out? You're like, nah. I bought it.
Yeah.
But that Division 2 is currently out. Let us know what you think in those comments below on the Facebook groups or whatever. But if you are like some people that believe a game that came out last week is old news, is a section we call Coming to the Players. We tell you what PlayStation games are dropping this week.
They've changed the layout and I don't like
They
it.
have. The PlayStation blog got a new little jig. So as usual, we are pulling this information from the drop, and the majority of them may be US releases only, or it may come to European servers like us a little bit later.
Don't know. New PlayStation games from March 19th, the week of March 19th, 2019. Alwa's Awakening, PS4 digital. American Ninja Warrior, PS4 digital.
It's one of those gladiator shows, isn't it?
Yeah. Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon Everybody bundle, PS4 digital. Cubezone, PS4 digital. Fate Extella Link, PS4, PS Vita digital and retail. It always strikes me as weird when these kinds of games get retail release. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck is this? And how are you, like, in shops? The Messenger, PS4 digital.
Apparently this is massive. Apparently
Yeah.
The Messenger was brilliant. Give it a rundown of that one.
As a demon army besieges his village, a young ninja ventures through a cursed world to deliver a scroll paramount to his clan's survival. What begins as a classic action platformer soon unravels into an expansive time-traveling adventure full of thrills, surprises, and humour. Peasant Knight, PS4, PS Vita, digital and cross-buy. Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, PS4, digital and retail. You are the, quote, one-armed wolf, a disgraced and disfigured warrior bound to protect a young lord. You become the target of many vicious enemies. When the young lord is captured, nothing will stop you to regain your honour, not even death itself. I was going to pick this up, but I got the Division now. I will get to this at some point.
It's a little bit later.
A little bit later. SNK 40th Anniversary Edition Collection, PS4 digital and retail. Super Kickers League, PS4 digital. War Theatre, PS4 digital cross-buy. That's it. So obviously Sekiro is the big game, and The Messenger, if you're after a bit of 2D platforming.
Now we should also mention that if you are a player of Beat Saber,
Oh, yes.
the Monster Cat DLC is now available, which has the PopC
Old theme?
old theme, because
We don't need it anymore, do we?
No,
Really?
so we kind of, like, when we first started on the radio and when we moved into sort of more general topic videos, there was a theme we used, it was Till It's Over by Tristan. Yeah, so we reached out like a bajillion years ago, like, hey, can we use your song? We dig it. And he's like, yeah, man, here you go. Yeah, and then funny enough, it's now part of the Monster Cat DLC, so you could literally Beat Saber away to the PopC.
To the PopC. It's $15. You get 10 songs. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently I still haven't grabbed Beat Saber yet, mostly because I'm too lazy to really get the VR out these days.
I think it really shows, though, in one way, how much better VR is on PC. Because Beat Saber has thousands of songs on PC because people can do it themselves.
Yeah.
And Guitar Hero as well, or Rock Band.
Rock Band, yeah.
People can, do the song themselves, upload it, and someone else can play it. Same with Beat Saber. There's thousands of songs for Beat Saber on PC, and by default on PS4 you get like 15, I think. It's a pretty stark contrast, but the $15 for 10 songs is pretty good anyway.
And also saying that it's much cheaper to have a PS4 and PSVR than Oculus or a Vive and a PC.
This is also correct. Depends how deep you want to go down the rabbit. Like my dad, he's at the bottom of that rabbit hole.
Oh, he's well in that hole.
He's well in that hole.
He's deep in that hole.
Mm-hmm. You.
But yeah, if you want to Beat Saber your way through to the PopC, you can do it over there. It was a great surprise actually because I remember hearing about the DLC pack, and then our good friend Buddy Watson from Dash Culture whipped me on a tweet and was like, "Hey, this sounds familiar." Oh, we have permission, I swear.
That PlayStation conversation happened on a Monday morning at 9 a.m. Australian Standard Time on YouTube and 8 a.m. on iTunes, Spotify. What?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it did. iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast services. If you'd like to be a part of future conversations, please join us on Facebook. I was going to say Google. Discord, comment below. If you're feeling generous, join us on Patreon at patreon.com/. You really put me off with that. /popculture, head over there, check out the tiers. Might be something there that interests you.
Yeah, I did. If you do support us on Patreon, you can watch us record this show being a patron at any tier. We do plan on doing some more things in there at some point. Oh, speaking of, my dad bought me this. It's the Cruiserweight belt. I've been speaking to Ethan. He's going to 3D print us some new panels. Oh. So this can become our PopC pay-per-view championship belt. So we can have game offs if we so choose. Become champions. Okay. I thought it was something cool for Patreon, and then that worked out well. That might be a good idea. We are also on... Nope. If you want to support Pop Cultures, head to the On Your Body, popcultures.com/shop, where you can buy shirts and shit. This one, not that one on the ground. Yep. We are also twitch.tv/thepopculturists. And while you are at the podcast services giving us those sweet 5-star reviews and all those things, why don't you go check out The Young and the Wrestlers, Pop Culture's WWE podcast, because they, just like us, we're on the road to 100. They are on the road. We are, for Young and the Wrestlers, we're on the road to WrestleMania. Oh. It's a lot of good stuff. It's all falling apart. Yeah. It's fucking chaos.
Yeah.
Until next week, I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Josh Hodges.
And that was For the Players.